Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign. The Swedish War of Independence about to come up with FilthyRobot's Assistance. That's the name of the series, officially.
Yes, and it's a quick read.
You had a question, but I have one quick thing that came to mind that I want to mention. Notice how our Navy is suffering attrition in the North Sea?
No. How do I tell that?
There's a little skull. There's a little skull next to it. So the open sea, basically any sea tile that borders land is going to be considered not open sea. Mm-hmm. And you get an extra 5% attrition suffered in provinces that are actually, actual North Sea itself is far away. You always suffer 1% naval, like your troops that are on transports will suffer 1% attrition every month that they're at sea. So naval attrition is just something you will suffer. But one thing that's kind of annoying is that when you tell your Navy to just go from, say, where it was over to where I wanted it to go, it doesn't care about open sea tiles. And there's one very specific reason for that, and that's that the AI cheats and they don't suffer naval attrition at all.
Okay.
So apparently it's too complicated for them to program the AI to not be stupid, so they just cheat and they just don't suffer attrition. So because of that, the pathfinding that your commands use is the same as the pathfinding that the AI commands use, and it will just completely ignore things like the North Sea.
And remind me, can you shift Q?
Yes.
This game or no?
Yes. So what you would want to do...
You could path it along the coast, is what you're saying.
If you wanted to avoid the attrition, you could shift Q along the coast, but just be aware that anytime you just tell them to go from point A to point B, they're going to pretend like there's no naval attrition anywhere, because they don't. The AI doesn't suffer that.
Got it.
So, anyway, we got 2 months left to the English ship just taken care of. We need to pick our new units. New infantry.
How do we do that?
We did change this once before. Go to the military tab.
Yep, going there right now. I never remember the numbers, but I do know how to mouse over and look for it. Military, this guy with the hat, got it.
Yep, click on where the actual text says halberd infantry. That's your infantry type that we've chosen. And then there's a little checkbox now in the top left corner called Show Outdated Units. If you check that, you'll be able to see the units that we had before, the level 1 units. We had the halberd infantry and the Latin medieval. We had ended up switching over to the halberd. So basically what's happening here is we just took a tech that is now giving us superior infantry.
We get plus 1 pip.
Yeah, instead of having just two total pips, now we get 3 pips. And now you just have to choose how do you want to allocate them. Before we were on the side of shock, I would go for, we have high prestige, I would just definitely go for the Gallaglass. The offensive morale, just smash morale like before.
Done.
Okay, and again, our morale just got set down to 0.5, so you would not want to do any battles for now, and 4 months from now or so, we should be at full maintenance. We should be at full morale.
There's something I wanted to ask about. I think it was on our technology tab. So we're about to hit the tech for diplomatic tech.
Yeah.
And on the right, I can see what it supposedly gives us. It makes our naval maintenance more expensive, gives us more trade efficiency, and gives us base trade range. What are the 4 icons next to it, with the 4 ships next to it? Why is that listed there? Just to the right of the actual tech? So
the actual ships. So these are the different classifications of ships. You've got the heavies, the lights, the galleys, and then the transports. And if you hover over that, it'll tell you at what Diplo tech level you get upgraded versions of these ships. So hover over the actual ship icon itself, not the text, and you can see we get a new light ship, for example, the Caravel at Diplo Tech 9. Okay,
but this isn't relevant to this tech. This is just relevant to diplomatic techs in general.
Yep. Same thing with all the other stuff. Like you hover over the infantry icon or the cavalry icon, you can see when you get new upgrades to those unit types.
This is why you're so excited about the last military tech, because
Tech 4 was really important. Tech 6 is also going to be very important because you notice we're going to pick up some military tactics. So if you want to you want to see the thing that you're going to get on the next tech, it's going to be the thing below the actual button.
Yeah, moused over.
Yep. Okay. So we have a new queen of Denmark, by the way. So 535, very fair. And Sweden should hopefully still be rebellious. Their independence is also supported by Lithuania, so they could actually declare war soon on their own. We want to make this happen really, really soon. But we gotta get the rest of the army over there because we're not gonna be able to ferry it over there separately. So we have to just risk that they declare before we're really ready. We could keep just 2 of these troops home and not bring our entire army over there. It saves us.
Because it would take 1 extra transport route.
Yeah, it's a whole extra trip, which is gonna take another 2 months. I think that's probably gonna be a good idea.
I think you're right.
as we just get the war started. So we'll park
So
our
you
army.
just auto-path it again? Don't care?
Nah, not really. Because here's the thing, like, okay, so what is Navy... The transports, first off, they only suffer the attrition on the monthly tick. So they path... I checked. They pathed through the North Sea before the month ended, so they weren't going to suffer the attrition anyway.
Okay.
But even if they had, they would suffer 6% attrition. They'd potentially take some hull damage. To repair them, you just park them in a port. They recover 10% of their health each month. And they reinforce with sailors, which don't matter.
Yep.
They don't cost money to reinforce. They don't cost anything but sailors.
You heard it here first on Arumba's channel. Sailors' lives don't matter.
That's true. See, if it were me, I would have just said, oh, you want to build boats and we want to incorporate manpower into the equation? Okay, here's an idea. Let's use manpower. We already have this value in the game to track the number of young, willing men ready to die for their country. How about we use manpower for boats, too? It would make a lot more sense. But I'm concerned about the fleets. So for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and say on the pirate fleet, actually, if you'd like to do this, you could. Just grab the privateering fleet.
Yeah.
You can do one of two things here. You can either check the box, go home at war, or just make them automatically go hide whenever we declare war or get declared upon, which is a good thing for defensive fleets like this, weak fleets that you don't want to be picked off.
Yep.
But it's safer to just tell the Navy to go into a port right now. That way they don't...
do that by right-clicking on the province?
Yep. Like send it to our capital, for example.
Yeah.
You actually sent it to the sea tile, not to the province.
I clicked on the capital, though. So what do I do for that?
You gotta... Oh, never mind, actually. Normally... I guess the icon doesn't go all the way in there. I'm surprised. It's just the arrow is really far away from the actual province.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's wait till our navies have docked up. We're waiting for both of them to come home right now. We don't want those 5 transports to get picked off, and we should be good to go. We got a diplomat free. And
yes, we do.
we actually want 2 diplomats, though, because we want one to offer support of independence to Sweden, the other to immediately declare war on Denmark. Because we want to be the controller.
I'm getting worried about the timing. We got screwed on the timing with, I think it was Pale, right?
Mm-hmm. So long as we don't support their independence, they haven't declared in the last few months, they're pretty unlikely to declare while we wait these extra 2 weeks, but knowing my luck. Oh, this is interesting. So, Lithuania is currently at war. They're fighting against the Livonians. You see the occupied lines over near Sweden?
Nope. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I do actually, the red ones.
Yep. So if you want to see, like, kind of get a visual idea what's going on, right-click on Lithuania, and then you can see that, here's how I usually do it. So if you right-click on any nation that you're curious about, and you can see at the very top of the list of stuff that's going on in the province, or the nation, that they're at war. Attacker against Livonian order in the Lithuanian conquest of Mitau. So quite clearly, Lithuania is the aggressor here. But if you didn't know, or you didn't want to read, you could just click on the flag twice, and you've just automatically forced it to find the war leaders. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Because it'll always show the war leader. Like if we were at war with England, and France was in the war as well, and you right-clicked on France, and then you left-click on England, it's going to go to the English side's war leader, which is England. And then if you left-click on England's perspective, it would go to the Scottish side's war leader, which was us. So by clicking twice, you just automatically figure out who the war leaders are. So it's the Teutonic Order versus the Polish. Actually, he's in 2 wars. He's in 2 wars right now.
In Sweden.
Because there are many much moosen in Sweden. Yeah,
he's an elk. I don't know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little doodads around the map.
Do we have to fight him? Because he looks like he's occupying Elfsborg.
No, there's a couple other things. There's bears. There's whales. There's
Bears sound like a nasty army. What are their stats? How many pips do bears have?
They are not recruitable. I found a bear. There's a bear right now next to Beluziru.
Oh god, I don't know where that is.
For me, at least. I don't know if it's the same in every person's game. It could be somewhere they're dynamic.
Okay, so we're
ready. We're going to go in 5 days. Let's do this. So we're going to go ahead and wait and go ahead and do it now. So go ahead and support the independence of Sweden.
So to do that, I assume I will be interacting with Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be... Let's go see what I think that's going to be. I think I see... Alliance form coalition. Guys, no, it's not alliance actions.
Yep. No, it is up. You got to right-click with Sweden. So support independence under alliance actions.
Oh, it's green already.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They want our help.
That.
Notice how they're rebellious.
So the green is they will accept it. That's what that means?
Yes.
Where the red is they won't accept an alliance from us. They will accept support independence.
They can't accept an alliance because they are a vassal. They are a subject nation. So
I'm going to confirm that.
Yep. Real quick, one last thing though. While you're looking at Sweden, the second one from the top is independence supported by Lithuania.
Yes.
Sweden's liberty desire is 100%. Okay. Then the third one down is the actual indicators saying that they're in a union under Denmark. If you hover over the flag for Denmark, you can see some more information, like how long they've been in a union under them, what their liberty desire is, that kind of stuff. Knowing exactly what causes the liberty desire to be where it's at is not something that we have access to. You can see it if it's your own subject, but not if it's someone else's subject. But if they have less than 50% liberty desire, they're considered to be loyal, and they will not accept supported independence. So they have to be rebellious for you to try to help them.
Well, turns out they're pretty rebellious. So I think I've sent that first one then.
Okay.
And then the other one is to declare war.
We got to wait one day. Okay. We are now supporting their independence. So now, if we right-click on Denmark and declare war, Sweden is showing that they would be on our side. Actually, I think we need to wait a little bit longer, possibly for the... Wait a second. Let's wait until July the 1st. I might be making a mistake here, getting myself confused. When we look to declare, it's still showing that Sweden would defend them.
So when you're seeing that by clicking on declare war.
Yeah. Yep. Right-click on Denmark and then go to the declare war interface. You can see that they would be protected by Gelre. Mecklenburg would dishonor the call, and then it shows that Norway, Sweden would defend them. Which is curious
Why is that?
to me.
Did Sweden finally get tired of us telling them that we wouldn't support?
No. I had assumed that if we were already supporting their independence that they would join on our side, but that appears to not be the case. So, I've made a mistake. Which does still happen from time to time.
We'll call that the first mistake of the campaign. What do you think?
So we have a couple choices here. We could either wait for the Swedes to declare independence on their own, let them be the war leader, and hopefully get some land out of the peace deal, which could happen. Wouldn't be a bad idea to let you see what it's like not being the war leader, seeing what the AI does, how to actually try to tell the AI what you want. But I'm not hopeful that they will do it right, and it also will potentially cost us time and money because we just have to keep our army over here and keep it at full maintenance in case they declare. We don't know when they're going to declare or if they're going to declare. But
yeah, it has been a while since they last asked us. Well, they asked us to support. They haven't asked to declare. Well, we can see. I mean, this has only been 1 month of us being supporting with that. What can we do to further push the scales towards that?
Nothing really. I mean, we could train more troops, which makes the relative strength of the alliance. Right now, he's looking, when the AI is considering, okay, could I beat Denmark? Could I kill my overlord? Could I kill Denmark and Norway? He's looking at the size of his troops, the size of his navy. He's looking at his manpower reserve. He's looking at his cash reserve. He's looking at all of his allies' manpower and actual active troops. So if we were to train more men, it would make...
also more navy.
Yes, navy and troops would both sway relative strength of the alliance in his favor, making him more aggressive, more likely to declare.
Well, we want to train more navy anyways. It's part of our mission.
Yeah, so train some more ships for now. I mean,
Sparks are the light ones, right? Yeah, it says 9 units of light ship. So I click on that and I click. Oh man, where's the plus on that? Oh, I just have to do it. That's selected to do it that way. Okay. Does it matter where we put it in?
No. I would not probably risk. Well, since the navy is all together and it's not near Denmark, I would probably allow it to privateer. So long as we have the go home at war button checked. It shouldn't get into an engagement. Checked,
so let me go ahead and select what's it called? Because it's our first. I gotta split it up again.
No, don't split it up. I would actually keep the transports together with the light fleet so that they protect each other.
Okay.
Remember how we talked?
Gives us more hit points to get away with.
Yeah, the transports will take some shots and average out the damage for the two phases of combat, so we could just retreat.
Okay, and you wanted the privateer. So where do I find the fucking nodes again? So I can see. So I have privateer mission selected, and I can see the gold from these, and we've been doing it in the English channel, and let's because we did this on I think game day 1. So if I look at these again, I just see that 11.8 is a hell of a lot bigger than 1.8 in terms of the trade value in the node, right? So when I have privateer missions set up, so I have select mission for the Navy, and I'm looking to see where to send it. And basically we're looking for high numbers to take, right? And the biggest number around us is 11.8.
Well, actually, what I'm seeing is Bordeaux would be a better node right now.
Where is that?
See, I never look at the map when I'm doing my missions for like choosing stuff. I just look at the interface that opens up. You can see a list. There's 5 different trade nodes. North Sea. These are the 5 nodes that we're in range of. And I usually sort by trade power or sort by whatever, and then I hover over the send button, and you can see the number that I do care about that is actually accurate. Don't believe in everything that you see on this. We've talked about that before, but the number that usually is accurate is the actual the gain. So when I hover over North Sea, it says 0.26 gain, 0.38 in English Channel, 0.5 in Lubeck, 0.54.
Yeah.
So the problem with the Bordeaux node is that's the French node, and that would piss the French off. The reason why we were usually going for the English Channel is because the English Channel was one of our rival dominates that node, so we're getting power projection. The Lubeck node is over near Denmark, so the risk there is that our navy would be closer to the Denmark navy. So I'd still probably stick with the English Channel, even though it's not the best. It's
okay, so we're
safer.
getting 0.38 from the English Channel, and it's safer.
Yeah, and if you were to go to Sevilla, again, notice how some of these different names of the nodes actually have flags next to them?
Huh?
Like Sevilla's got the Castilian flag next to it. That's saying Castile is the most power on the node. So if you privateer in that node, you're going to piss off that person.
Okay.
So amazingly, I don't know how this is possible. Brittany actually has dominance of the Bordeaux node, so we could privateer that if you want. It'll actually be better. We won't get any power projection that way, but it's far away from Denmark and it's fine.
Well, when if someone else gains control of that, and because I don't want to go pissing off France. So if France takes it back, will it tell us, or just keep privateering?
No, not really. We'll just keep privateering and slowly degrade our relations with France until they no longer want to be our friends anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We're waiting on Sweden to get their shit together.
Yeah.
And you're chasing bears right now, or moose?
What I'm actually doing is, first off, I position the army right now into some defensive terrain, just because it makes sense to have the -1 penalty against them if they were to try to attack us. Next thing I would want to look for is go to the forts map mode.
Keys?
Shortcut keys I. It's a little fort-looking icon. Fort level map mode. And that way you can see a indicator for where the forts are in the country, in the different countries. Yeah. And I would look at every single like bluish purple blob that's in Denmark and Norway right now and try to find provinces that have unmaintained forts. So for example, if you look in Denmark, you can see that the fort in Skane is a fully maintained fort. They have a capital fort in Sjælland, their capital, or Sealand, however you pronounce it. They have a fully maintained fort in Midtjylland. There's a fully maintained and capital fort in Akershus, capital of Norway. However, there's a mothballed fort in Trøndelag. You see that in Norway?
In Norway.
Northwest coast of Norway. There's a fort in Norway that is not maintained.
Okay.
Remember how we sniped that fort from the English?
Yeah.
So I would want to try to park my army as close to that fort as I can, so that if the Swedes declare, we can maybe snipe that fort as well. So I'm looking right now at Dalasken or Lapland. Probably Dalasken.
You're helping my tendency to mix up Norway and Denmark here. We have claims on Denmark, and I thought we were supporting Swedish independence from Denmark. Why are we looking at Norway's forts?
Because Norway is also a subject underneath Denmark.
I see. Okay. So we're going to be fighting Norway as well, because Norway's likely to actually accept the call of.
He has to. There is no choice in the matter. He will accept because he is a loyal vassal. He's a loyal subject nation.
Okay.
Now, if he were somehow,
so how do we get close to this? You're just going to move to the border.
Yeah, just move over to Dalasken. Just got to get as close to it as we can, and hope that What are the Danish doing right now? I see their army just march through Stockholm. They're not at war. Why are the Danish in Stockholm? That is curious. So I think we just gonna play on speed 3 here, full maintenance, and just hope that hope something breaks out.
All right.
There's something. In the nation of Novgorod, your faithful allies requesting you come to their aid in the Muscovite conquest of Kargopol. Remember how I mentioned that if we allied Novgorod, we were pretty likely to end up with Muscovy? Oh,
yeah.
There it is. So, that was our first defensive call. We pretty much have to honor it. The 25 prestige hit is a big deal. The -1 diplomatic reputation, you see at the bottom of this pop-up, if you decline the call, it is bad. It's bad for your nation to be dishonorable. It will also lower your trust with every nation by a certain number of points.
Is that temporary or permanent?
It's temporary. It'll come back over time, but like lowering your trust with, say, France would not be a good idea right now.
Okay.
It means they're less likely to defend you. They're less likely to believe that you'll do what you say you're going to do.
Okay.
Let's see. So before you ever accept a defensive call to arms, I would highly, highly recommend you do this. Go ahead, right-click either on, click on the flag in the top left of that pop-up for Novgorod. Okay. You remember how I talked a minute ago about, like, finding the war leaders? You see the 2 war indicators for Novgorod now? Novgorod's
yes, I see attacker against. You're talking that stuff here, where it says attacker against and defender against.
Yeah, we don't care about the attacker because that doesn't matter. But the defender against Muscovy, so it's Muscovy. You click on that and you can see it's just straight up Muscovy versus Novgorod. If you hover over the actual little... Okay. We've confirmed that Muscovy is the war leader and that Novgorod is the war leader. Now you go to the political map mode. The diplomatic map mode, shortcut key E. And then have Muscovy selected and look at the map from their perspective. You want to get a visual idea, like what are we walking into right now? So Muscovy, from their perspective, is fighting Novgorod and Lithuania. All the red.
Okay. Yep.
That's a lot of red. That's good. You also want to look and see, are there any other allies that could potentially join Muscovy? He's got one ally with Odoyev. And he leads a personal union with Tivr. And he has Pskov and Perm as vassals. So no one else is going to join the war. There's no other parties that we're waiting to see if they're going to step in on this. So I'm really liking the look of that. Lithuania being in the war is a huge boost to us.
Okay.
From
we actually have
Novgorod,
troops over here too. I mean, that's
that's really quite nice.
We could actually maybe get some actual utility. These troops that were waiting around for Sweden could maybe actually kill some Muscovy's troops and get us some war score. Maybe we could get something out of it.
Well, it's unlikely we're going to get much. We don't have any ability to take land over there. Because again,
can we get war reparations?
We would not. No, we're not the war leader. War reparations always go to the war leader.
Oh.
So Novgorod would get them. But let's say we do like 60% participation in the war, and Novgorod asks for 300 ducats from Muscovy, then we would get 60% of those 300 ducats.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. It's not worth the traded manpower that we would lose, but we can't really afford to decline the call. So we'll help them out.
Accept the call then.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't have to accept the call right away. You have 60 days to accept the call to arms. So, for example...
so you should have told me that earlier, because then we could have stalled for 59 days. But now we're accepted. So now we're balls deep in this war, Arumba.
It's fine, because we already have full maintenance. But here's the reason why I mention it, is that if you get a defensive call to arms and your morale is at 0, you should almost always at least wait 1 month before you accept. Just raise your maintenance a little bit. You don't want to accept a call with 0.5 morale.
Okay.
Because it'll take you 4 months before your army's ready to fight, and if there's anybody nearby, then your army could get stack wiped before you even have a chance to use it.
I see you've already given our army a movement command to get over to the east over there.
Yes, we're going to go try to help out.
Yeah.
Ironically, we are still hostile to the Novgorodian separatists, even though we're allied to Novgorod and we're at war with someone. Like, these are separatists. You see that 8 stack over there in Neva?
Yeah.
They're Denmarkian. That's why Denmark was marching through. Denmark's coming all the way over here through Sweden to try to take care of the rebels. That's what he's doing over here. But
it could be good though if Sweden declares on him.
Yeah, could be good. He'd be
his stack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I like the way this looks. This looks pretty solid. I think that Muscovy's probably not going to win in the east based on this. Normally, it would just be Muscovy beating up on Novgorod. Lithuania would be in a union under Poland and unable to help. But because Lithuania is independent instead of being under that union, he's kind of changing the political landscape over here. So it's cool. Yeah, it's good. Let's go ahead and take a break then, and we'll see what we can do on the defensive. See you in a bit.